We're going to start with the slip knot. Wrap your yarn around your fingers twice. Pull the back thread over the front and the bottom thread over both. And here is our slip knot. Insert your hook and pull on the thread attached to the ball to pull the loop tight. Keeping your work close to the end of the crochet hook, we're going to start by yarning over and pulling the yarn through the loop that we created. This is a chain. We keep yarning over and keep pulling through to create a longer chain. Now if your loop were to get too big, you can just pull on the yarn that's attached to the ball and make it a little bit smaller. Maintaining a good tension is really good, because if your chain is too small, it is too tight and harder to work, and it's harder on your hands, and too loose and you might lose some work, might not look very good. So having a good tension is always good. Here's our chain. The back side has this nice line down the middle, and the front has these nice V's. Each V is one chain, and that's how we count our stitches. So 1, 2, 3 for example. But for our first stitch, our single crochet, we're going to enter into the second chain. Yarn over, pull through. Now we have 2 loops. We yarn over and pull through both of them. That's a single crochet. We're going to continue to do that all the way back to the very first chain. The reason why we skipped the very first chain before we started our single crochet stitch was to allow the space for the yarn to work up. Otherwise you'd have a very scrunched up end, and that's no fun. So again, we just enter into the next loop, yarn over, pull it through. That leaves 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through both, and that is a single crochet stitch. And as we work our way towards the very beginning chain from the slip knot, we do want to keep in mind that we do want to use that very first stitch, otherwise we will have a little tail more than just the tail of the yarn. Alright, and here's what I was talking about. So this little tiny space is a stitch. If we don't want the extra little tail, we insert our hook into it. It may be a little bit tight. Yarn over, pull it through, and then yarn over and pull through both loops again. And that was 1 row. To begin the next row, we're actually going to start by turning our work around and chaining 1 so that we get the length up and not a scrunched up end. And again, we skip this first chain and go straight into the second one. And here we have both sides of the V that we're going through. And now this is the second row. So again, we've got that first chain we skipped into the second one. We go right on to the next one, yarn over, pull through both loops, and we continue. Now here we do have what's the front loop and the back loop. The front loop and the back loop can be used for different types of stitches. For this simple single crochet, we go through both. It's also kind of what gives it its thickness. The single crochet stitch is perfect for blankets, washcloths. I love making washcloths with this because it's really good if you find a good yarn, you know, something that's cotton. That'll work great for if you like to wash your dishes with that kind of thing. And then we just continue with single crochet again until the end of our row. And again, when we get to the end of the row, there is one more stitch. If we don't do this, we will have a decreasing angle, and that just looks funny. So here is that final stitch. We go through both the front loop and the back loop, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over and pull through both loops again. And that finishes the row. To go on to the next row again, we flip over our work. I'm right-handed, so that's why I work from right to left. We chain one again, skip the first chain there, and go straight into the second one. And you can make this as long as you want. If you were to do something as short as the width of this, but really long, you could make a scarf even. You know, the only limit